I'm Cindy Baldy. I take care of my husband. He's a quadriplegic. He has severe brain injury. I take care of him 24/7. His accident happened when we were at home. He fell down 4 stairs and he hit his head on the right side on the soft spot, and he was unconscious right there on the spot. Phoned an ambulance and we went to the hospital. I went in there every day. I talked to him and I always says, "Hi, how are you doing? Hope your day was good. I hope everything's going good and you watch good shows." And one morning I walked in there, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and I said, "Hi, honey, how are you? Hope everything's good." And he says, "I'm doing good." He woke up out of his coma and he says, "I love you and I miss you." And I just started crying. Like $1 million. You couldn't pay me $1 million to replace that. It was just the joyous thing in my life to hear that. He finally come out of the coma with 7 months. I bring him home, get everything settled. He kept saying that he was scared that I was going to leave him. That was one of his major fears. So I said to him, I said, "Would it make you feel better if we do get married? Will you feel more comfortable and more at ease?" And he said, "Yes." He says, "Will you marry me?" So I said, "Okay, we'll do it." So I just planned it in the backyard with a few relatives and a few friends. I've told him I felt like Cinderella and I was marrying the best man in the whole wide world. Our daily life now consists of me getting him ready. I have to shower him. I have to dress him. He's full care. I have to feed him, get him up into his wheelchair. We'll go out on outings. We like to go to Heritage Park and the zoo. A lot of doctor's appointments. My life is his life. I don't have a social life. It was probably about, I would say, a year to a year and a half after the accident, everybody just dwindled away. And now it's just me and him. I did have my dad. That was about the only person that I had for support. But then when my dad passed away, that was very devastating too. I still am having a hard time with it. When he passed away, it was kind of like a part of my life left too. It was actually a really rough year. I went in for my mammogram and they did a little bit more pictures and everything, and I thought, well, geez, this is not too good, but maybe they're being careful. I don't know what's going on because it's my first time. Then the lady says, "Do you have a few extra moments?" She says, "We'd like to do an ultrasound." And I looked at her and I said, "Well, why do we have to do an ultrasound?" She goes, "Well, we just want to double check here," because I guess they're not allowed to say anything. So I went in, did the ultrasound. She says, "Oh, I'll be back in a few minutes." And she says, "I have the doctor on the phone." She said she'd like to talk to you. And I go, I knew right there I had cancer. I chose to do a lumpectomy over everything else. That was kind of my decision. And the doctor the surgeon kind of agreed too that that might be sufficient enough. And then after that, I had my surgery. And then I went and started my chemo in January. And it was 4 times. I had to have it every 3 weeks. And I had 3 cocktails of my chemo. And going on to I think it was after the second one, it was going on to the third one, my body was shutting down. I actually just about died from the chemo. Wings of Hope paid for 2 months for Meals on Wheels, which I couldn't thank them enough for. And actually when Bernie was there, when I was doing my chemo, when we were going over this, she actually gave me 4 gift certificates for Walmart for $25 each, which I started crying because nobody's gave me something like that. And I just told her I couldn't thank her enough. I says, well, this is going to come in handy and I can go buy some milk and just little things, you know, that I needed. With the foundation, I think it's great that they're there to help us because it really helps take some of the pressure off of worrying about these things that we really need.